Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, he wanted to be a youth pastor, but God had another plan. We'll be talking to one of the most successful real estate brokers in North Texas next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I know we all have a plan and a playbook that we're running, but sometimes God has another plan. And Todd Tramonte is with me. He's with the Todd Tramonte home selling team. I'm sure you've heard his radio show. You've heard his radio ads. If you live in North Texas, he's all over the place. Todd, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It should be fun.
Very cool. Well, you reminded me after I invited you on the show that we've actually go back a while.
Yeah.
Back in my early 2000s, I was doing a lot of public speaking, and Todd came to one of my groups. But I've been so impressed with how you have grown over the years, and you just informed me that you never wanted to do real estate.
No, I've told this story 1,000 times, but coming out of college, coming out of seminary, thinking about youth ministry and realizing that's probably not exactly where God had me. But then getting into the business of real estate and realizing I don't want to be, quote, normal, meaning a normal real estate agent, realtor, who most people view as working out of the car, winging it, typically well-intentioned, nice person, but not an expert, not world-class, and certainly not a true professional. And so that just began this journey of what does true professional look like? What does world-class value look like in residential real estate? And I think we're still working on it.
Okay, so how did you, when was the epiphany, oh my goodness, I'm now a realtor?
We were talking before we rolled the cameras and everything, but I literally was sitting in our first apartment. I had been selling real estate on the side, my only real job ever. And the side thing became bigger than the main thing. But one morning, I'm in my little second bedroom office. My wife leaves to go to her job at a Big Four accounting firm, and I realize she has a real job. I am a realtor. This is not okay. No disrespect to any other real estate agents out there, but my vision of the career and my capabilities and the gifts God had given me to go and share with the world, I wanted to do more than sell a house here or there and be well-intentioned, but not have anything behind that. And so, again, that kind of kicked off this journey of what would it look like to build a truly great brokerage differently than most do.
Sure. And I would submit that you have the heart of a teacher and the heart of a preacher, and that probably serves you well in this new arena.
I hope so.
Yeah, because Jesus was a servant leader, and in order to lead a team, the boss can't be the guy out there on the golf course every day letting the employees do all the work.
Well, I mean, I think the cheesy version of that are kind of the upside down org charts, right? Where it's like, no, I'm at the bottom and I serve others. But, you talk about Jesus, for even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve. Yes. And give his life as a ransom for many. So you can't just say that. You've got to live it out. So that's what we try to do. We try to bring in the greatest agents on the planet. Most people that join us are not even real estate agents when they join us.
Yes.
They come from other careers, and we have police officers and all kinds of things. But they have a heart to serve. They're also super tenacious and competitive and super, super smart people, and they want to win for their clients. But I think more than anything, they're wanting to discern their gifts and share them with the world in a way that matters.
Sure.
And on the one hand, residential real estate doesn't feel like massive global business, but we are being invited into the homes and families and parenting and marriages and wealth building of thousands of people every year. And we really love what we do.
And I love it that you remind your team of that all the time. To your point, many times a home comes up for sale after a divorce or the loss of a soulmate, and so you guys all actually become counselors.
Sometimes more than we wish we did. Yeah. And oftentimes we're in a spot where people have put a lot of trust in us and we need to bring in other wise counsel. But yeah, that's what makes it matter. I tell our team all the time, and we coach and consult with agents all over the country. So we tell them a lot too, that anything that matters is hard, right? So if you're trying to make your real estate career or anything else easy, A, it's either impossible, or B, you're going to move further and further and further away of real impact in the world. And you want to be a doctor, an attorney with some significance, a pastor of any kind. You want to be a deliverer of important messages. That you can't always leave that at the office, right? There's some emotional connection and some intellectual, that goes with you to do something that matters. And so we talk about that all the time based on what you're saying. There may just be a, quote, sign in the yard, but really what's behind that is walking people through some of the most difficult or exciting times of their life. And we think it's a real privilege to do that.
Yeah, and Todd, I'm a big fan of your show because you give away the gold. And I came from the news media. We're going to show some video here. I came from the news media, and I think the media can be very sensational, and they can give you one version of the story. But you're always educating the viewer and listener on here's what's really going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really been the intention of that show. And so we've had a radio show for 7, 8, 9 years now. We're currently on weekends, and it's not that we're anti-media. That's become a new thing to be, but that's not our approach. It's just we want to get to what matters. And so we tell people all the time, there's agents and brokerages from all over the country backed by venture capital, and that doesn't make them bad. But if you have a real estate need, you need local expertise. So A, a lot of that expertise isn't local, and then B, a lot of the local folks aren't really experts. So We're trying to fill that void and say, here's what you've been told, but that's probably not accurate for you. Or here's what's commonly thought of as knowledge, but that's not wisdom. That's just a habit. That's just a pattern. Here's how you can protect. And normally we say 3 things: you, your family, and your finances. And there's a lot more than that, but those are kind of the big 3 that people are looking out for. And we want to be an advocate for folks.
And I know you coach all over the country. We happen to be blessed to live in North Texas, where even a bad, air quote, real estate market is still a good market by many standards.
DFW has weathered the worst storms in residential real estate better than nearly any other market in America. And right now, just weeks ago, the National Association of Realtors put out a report, top 10 markets to weather the 2023 market better than any others. And Dallas is right there, number 5. So
what do you say to realtors who are frightened right now? Because, it was easy to sell homes when you just answered the phone.
Yeah. Well, are you ready for a little hot take? You might want to edit this one out.
Yeah, no, go for it.
I would say 2 things. Number 1, either get out or get after it, right? So you need to be an expert. If people trust you with hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, you need to deliver some expertise. You need to give them value. And a lot of agents don't do that. So if that's not what you want to do, I'd say I love you, but find something else that you can be more passionate and committed to. Number 2, I think this is one of the best times to grow a business in residential real estate, especially in DFW, because the marketplace, to your point, is beginning to realize they need expertise. Last year before, people underestimated their need for expertise because, like you said, they felt like this home's going to sell no matter what. And usually it would. And they'll never know how much money they left on the table or how much frustration and stress they could have avoided.
Yes.
But they survived it fairly well with poor representation or on their own. But now, as the market settles a bit and begins to be a little bit less clear and a little bit more challenging, folks are realizing, I need a pro. And I need to figure out who the pros are. And they're not as many as it might look like.
Yeah. A big fan of your servant leadership. We're going to take some pictures off of Facebook and have you kind of walk through. Now, this first picture shows you in a pink baseball cap.
Oh, boy.
All right, tell us about that.
So this is one of our consulting groups. We help agents and brokers all over North America, U.S. and Canada mostly, build businesses to do kind of what we do. We're not normal in residential real estate. That doesn't make us better than others, but we are not the normal real estate team in brokerage. And so folks that have recognized what we're doing have said, hey, I'd like to learn what you're doing. And so we've invited them in. We have an office building where we've built out that space you were just showing. And one of our clients had given me a gift basket from her home market, and I was wearing a pink hat backwards from her minor league baseball team. But what's happening in that room is folks are saying, how do we love on people better and still build a profitable business? How do we have massive impact? How do we give generously? How do we hire great people, not so we can just sell more and build more business, but how do we invest in one more family, two more families this year? And as we invest in our team members and our staff and our employees, each one of them may represent 20 or 30 or 40 more families out in the buying and selling of houses world that we together can then invest in. So we love on our people really well, and then together we go and love on as many people out in the market as possible.
That's awesome. Let's go back to the slideshow. What are we looking at
This
here?
is one of my favorite nights every year. This is our annual team Christmas party. We have a small office in Fort Worth and our main office in Richardson, and that's almost everybody. COVID knocked a few people out this year, but that's us just getting together and really celebrating impact. We're certainly celebrating sales and being able to feed our families, but that's a night where we get to celebrate, spend time together, eat, drink, have a good time, and also really, really recognize and celebrate each other. For that night, I gave out awards to each team member who lived out one of our company core values better, not better, but best on our team. And then we got to celebrate impact all across the globe, helping feed hungry kiddos and support ministries and businesses and schools here in our market, North Texas Food Bank, Tarrant Area Food Bank, and many others. And so that's a really, really fun night.
Okay, next picture.
So we're a competitive bunch. We like food. We like competing. So we had a what do you call them? Gingerbread house contest, and as you can see, I happen to be on the winning team. But that's Courtney, our media marketing director, and that's Andrew, one of our buyer specialists. We had a great time with that one. A lot of smack talk around that one. This is our Fort Worth Pie Day. We do one in Richardson and one in Fort Worth, and we give a huge 5, 6, 7 pound pie to every one of our clients that wants to come pick one up every year, just so we can say thank you to them. And then I wish you could read the sticker. Everyone that comes and picks one up, we'll donate 10 meals to the local food banks, just as a bribe to get them to come say hey and hang out a little bit and get to connect. And we may not earn a commission from that client for another 15 years, but we want to have a relationship with them. We want to add value in their lives every year. And so this is just a little enticement to get them to come hang out. That's Brandon. He's our client care coordinator. He runs what we call our Raving Fan Club, where we just want to love on past clients. They can borrow pressure washers, get something notarized, use meeting space, pop-up tents, folding chairs and tables, and tons of other stuff.
Outstanding. And then what's this one?
So we host an annual event for real estate agents all over the United States. 200, 300, 400 agents come in every year. And this year we had a silent auction, and all the proceeds benefited Compassion International. And they feed kiddos, shelter kiddos, educate, and share the gospel with them in the darkest corners of the world, the poorest neighborhoods on the planet. They're going into and loving on them. And we're trying to go with them both financially and other ways. But this event was able to produce $32,000, and 20 individual kiddos got sponsored.
Wow.
And kiddos are in that program through their 22nd birthday, and their average age there was 7. So that you're talking 15 years of monthly sponsorship times 20 kids. So yes, there was a lot of learning how to build real estate businesses there too, but also some impact that will last.
So I'm glad that you found your calling, and I know you have 3 kiddos. Would you want any of your kiddos to go into the business?
It's funny that you say that. I certainly am not pushing, but all of them in one way or another have expressed some interest. My son's kind of an engineer, architect mind. My daughter's super creative, loves animals, loves horses. So she's thought about a venue with some rental property and some event management and things like that. And then our little one's still figuring it out, but she likes to come to the office. So we'll see. I don't know that I would push them into residential real estate, but I certainly would love to see them use their gifts in a creative way in some entrepreneurial venue. If it happens to be real estate, I'll help them all I can.
Outstanding. Okay, Todd, we're almost out of time. Final thoughts. What would you like to leave people with?
I would say thanks for bringing me and having me see your gorgeous studios and incredible operation and hear about how your family's involved in your business. It's an encouragement to me. And I would just tell folks, at this moment, if you're thinking about anything related to real estate in 2023, slow down before you speed up. Speeding up hurt a lot of people last year. Buyers rushed into the market, overpaid, just got steamrolled by sellers. And sellers didn't usually realize it, but they rushed into the market and didn't fully prepare because they didn't think they needed to. And they left a lot of money on the table. So obviously, if we're a fit, we'd love to earn your business. But if we're not, just make sure you're working with someone that is full-time, fully committed, and they're not working alone. And if you've already got someone you trust and love like that, great. But slow down, speak to them up front before you rush out and go get really, really hurt in this market.
Outstanding. You've been a great guest. We're going to have you back again. We're going to end with the website, which is DallasHomeRealty.com. The great Todd Tramonte. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.